Okay, there we go.
All right. It's been a few months since we've been online together.
Yeah, my camera's frozen.
No, it's just free a little bit, but it's fine. You can see.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll tag you in the post as well. And then share it out. So how have you been feeling this fabulous March?
Oh my gosh. A lot of shadow work still yet. Um Roller coaster ride, like it's because when you're in the family and you know what's going on and you're working with the ascension energies, and you have high days and low days when your energy level, when you're integrating new energies, you kind of have low days and stuff, but yet your family members are not in the same place that you're in, so that it's really hitting them hard, and they're getting colds and all kinds of craziness. So the household's been real fun.
Yeah. What have you
My husband's
noticed?
he's had a real bad cold, and my
Yeah.
daughter's had a real bad one. It's like, oh geez. I know exactly what it is because I get a touch of it. I don't get a full blown,
Yeah.
cold thing,
When your vibration's higher, it doesn't affect you as much, right?
hmm I'm affected though, but just not as bad as they get.
Yeah, nobody's has this super immune thing, but I've noticed the same thing. Like I'll have family members, they'll be 2 weeks, and then I might have it for a day, kind of a thing, maybe two at the most. If it happens.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it might and then with your family members, they've got it for a whole week or more. And it's like they're like, well, how'd you get over here so quick? I don't know. It just happens that way.
Have you noticed anything changing with your family as far as being more open?
Yeah, I did. I have noticed that they will ask more questions. They're more inclined to say things that I may have I might have said something to them like years ago, and I think they didn't hear it, and then they repeat it back to me, and I'm like, oh, they did hear, or they just remembered. I don't know which. It's so
Yeah.
cool. It's
Yeah,
cool.
I have family members opening up to as well. Even opening up to really different things that even some star seeds are haven't opened up to yet, like being in it, feeling your existence in another reality, another dimension.
Uh-huh.
And this is someone. So there's star seeds out there that haven't felt that, and I've had a family member who completely awake, or not awake, I'm sorry, completely asleep, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, opens up to this, and it is experiencing it. Someone who has no past knowledge of really being awake or spiritual, right?
Right.
A belief in the light, belief in God. That's it, right? All of a
Right.
sudden, seeing and experiencing themselves in another timeline with another group of people. This is my dad.
Yeah. Isn't
Yeah.
that amazing? I know
Yeah.
my daughter says some of her dreams, she's like, I know it's another timeline because it doesn't look like me, but I know it's me. And the people are familiar from this life, but they're not the people that they are. And did I freeze?
No, it's a little, but you're coming back, and you can
Okay.
see and hear you, so it's fine.
Okay. But anyways, the
Mhm.
people, there's she's starting to notice that there's something going on, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this, what can I say? I'll just say, so I'm hearing reports of people who are working with a lot of people in their work, that more and more people, like customers, are coming in talking about spirituality, or once it didn't happen, now there's 2 or 3 people a day.
hmm
I mean, so if this isn't spelling global awakening, then
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
It's happening all around us, Um, Yeah, because you'll run into somebody that you hadn't seen for years, and then they suddenly start going, you know that ascension you was talking about?
Yeah,
I get it now. You know what I mean? And you're
for
like,
sure.
I mean, it's exciting. I mean, and it seems like that we've really evolved. You know, it's so much easier. There's more and more people that understand what's going on now. It just makes it so much more fun because you can speak without being so careful about what you're saying, you know. They get that.
I remember years back when you came to me and you're like, my guides are telling you to start doing your inner work. And you came to me with Robin, and I knew I had to. It was definitely a conversation. I didn't quite know how at the time, and then you took me through a past life and a clearing, and that really began a whole journey for me, the biggest deep dive I've ever done into my soul, doing the inner work, and then figuring out how to release lots of density at the same time, and it just kept going, advancing from there. um, to me, that's been what has shifted me the most, for sure, is the inner work. It's shifted my vibration, my belief systems, increased my love and compassion for everything.
Yeah,
So
I
what
think
could, in your like, because you're doing this work still now, being in the space for 20 years or more, what would you say to people, um the importance of doing the inner work?
I think that it comes in layers because we have so many lifetimes that we have to heal. It's not just this lifetime, it's connected to all of them. And so when you go through different things, like the passing of my mom in August, that's when you start looking within because that's where the pain's at. So you really start, I think it takes traumatic things to make you start looking within. And then you start shifting out the things that doesn't serve you and looking for where you're going through forgiveness and allowance and observing why you did the things that you did or why people did the things they did. And so it's all about forgiveness and also releasing people that you keep accountable for whatever it is you went through. And all of that lightens up your field so that you can ascend higher. And I don't think anybody's ever done, I mean, until we actually do ascend, because there's always layers that got hidden within the process that you'll just hit a speed bump and you'll be like, what was that? And then once you go inside, because we all know we have to go inside to find out why we reacted in that way. And you go deep down in, that's when you find out, oh shoot, I thought I let go of that, but it's still there. And then you start releasing it. And I think with me, what happened was my mother passing, the things that were connected to her and the way I was raised and everything around it, that's what I'm diving into now.
A lot of inner child
It
stuff.
wasn't time, right? It wasn't time
Mhm.
for me to do that yet.
Yeah.
And there's my guides and they just knew it wasn't time until then. And so
Yeah.
that's why I'm working on that now. And it's really tough because you feel like you've been doing spirit work and you've done all that, but you haven't. There's more. It's just when you come upon it, you'll realize that you've hit another one and you'll go through it. It's just like a little speed bump in your path, but it's just a speed bump because you can
Yeah.
get through it all. And I'm very lucky because the things that I'm working through now with my shadow work, I have taught other people to do. I have the tools. I know what to do. My guides are helping me. And this is really tough. I think the stuff I've been going through are things that takes people years to get through because it's so intense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just been very lucky that they've been there to guide me every step of the way. And I think that
I don't think it's luck. I think it's like your love and connection for the light, is this reflected to their love and connection to you. your dedication to serve the light and your connection to the light is beautiful. So I think it's commitment. It's not luck. I think like you love the light so greatly and you're so committed that reflection comes back to you by all the guides and all the support.
Yeah, I remember my guide said to me, "It's your turn now. It's your turn. Lay down the staff and heal within." And I was like, "Oh no," because when I told other people what it was, I thought, "Oh, here we go. It's a roller coaster ride."
Yeah, I
But
know.
it's been amazing, and my life has changed a lot because of it. And I think it's just going to get better the more that I'm still, I haven't got to the end of it yet, but I'm pretty close. I see the light now, and I'm um
And you're having
integrating.
fun. So you're the perfect example of somebody who's really living in their heart. So you're doing all the commitment to the light, you're doing the inner work to help you, and you have all the tools. Like, so you've worked on so many decades, you have all these tools, and you're using them to advance your soul, to be brighter, to get through it. But you're also living in your joy. So you got like an expo coming up that you're going to tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's going to be at the Kalamazoo Weed Stadium, and it's a pretty big one. And it's lots of fun, lots of people, lots of healers, lots of uh, card readers and gemstones, and you name it, it's there. Oils, everything you can think of. It's lots of fun. Everybody around this area is there. Kathy Sherman, Rochelle Gaiman. But those are just a couple off the top of my head. But there's a lot of people that's out on the internet a lot that you would recognize there. So it's going to be lots of fun.
That'll be great. Great experience. Are
Oh,
you
also
doing,
Jennifer
are you,
Pasquin. I can't forget Jen. She's going to be there.
are you
I are
guys
sharing a
having
booth.
like a booth out when
Yeah,
you're
Jen and
there?
I are sharing a booth. Jennifer Pasquin. Yeah,
Oh, cool. Awesome.
we're going to have a blast. And Rochelle's
Yeah.
right next to us. It's just going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of laughter and high energy, and
Yeah.
it'll be so
Those are
good.
so much fun because it's like you get in the group of like-minded people, and it's just fun to, everybody squeals and hugs when they see each other. It's like reunion or something. It's just
Oh,
fun.
sure.
Yeah.
And like all the years of hearts have changed and all the friendships before that even. And
Oh yeah,
I
there's
mean,
lots of people there that we had on for interviews and stuff. So that's lots of fun too. Yeah, we're gonna have a
so what's in the cards for you in 2023? Do you have any plans for once you get through some of this, get
well,
to the finish line?
well, they're kind of giving me peeks about what I'm going to do. Of course, I've always been a teacher, so I'll be teaching what they were talking about. They're going to, I'm going to channel a more in depth um, how to be a crystalline. Once you ascend, how do you stay in that crystalline body? They are just telling me they're going to help me learn how to help people maintain that high level of energy and peace,
Mm.
and because you're still a human being. You ascend to
Mhm.
the next level, and down here's the lower level, and you can have thoughts that'll just bring you right back down. So I mean, until you get that stabilization, to where you can maintain, where you don't jump back and forth like that, unless you have a purpose to go back and forth, like if you're helping the ones that simply can't get up to that higher consciousness. Um, it just depends on who you are. But I mean, they just give me a peek. I don't really know exactly the details. They're just telling me that I'm going to teach.
Which brings in a very exciting topic
What's
that
that?
I don't think anybody really has talked about yet.
What's
The
that?
theory of when this first shift happens. So we know there's like a force integration of sorts into a higher frequency, but we know other people are still going to have to embody and release a lot of the inhale the consciousness. So a bit of a sloppy soup, but the theory, when this frequency comes in, what will people who have done the work, the inner work, and expand it into gifts, what do you think they'll be able to do? Because it's going to be way more than what we can do now. At a higher frequency, we can definitely do more.
So the people that are already, are you asking the question as the people that are already serving the light?
Yeah, serving the light, doing the inner work, expanding in their gifts. What are they going to be able to do in this new frequency?
Wow, I think the sky's the limit. I
Right?
think of Yahshua. He's gonna hold your hand and he's gonna show you the ropes. And we're definitely gonna be masters of love and light. That's all I know.
Yeah,
We won't know until we experience what it is, because we
it's
really
true.
only have like a drip of water of
Mhm.
consciousness of who we truly are. We really don't get who we are because our human mind can't comprehend what we are. And when we figure that out, I think the sky's the limit.
It feels like it might be like a spiritual Christmas, right? Like, so you wake up one day and you have all these spiritual presents and you start opening them, and one's maybe like shape shifting, possibly another one could be some of the earlier knowledge of teleporting, another one could be manifesting out of thin air, just like,
Well, not
you know.
biolocate and being in 10 places at once. Yahshua was teaching
Mhm.
all over the world at one time. He didn't stay after his passing. He didn't, after he ascended, he didn't stay in one body. He taught all over the world, you know. So, I mean, who knows? It's gonna be,
It's going to be exciting, to say the
yeah.
least. I mean, there'll be a whole planet to heal. There's no question that's going to be part of the
Oh yeah, for sure.
process for sure.
But I mean, I want people to know that just because you've been doing spiritual work for years, there's always something that you tucked away that you wasn't ready to look at, that you'll look at eventually. And when you're going through that, just use when you was teaching everyone how to do all the things that you're going through, just remember that, because you have the tools to get through it and you'll be okay. And don't feel like you're less than because you're going through it now. It's just because you tucked it away in a drawer and you just didn't want to look at it. And it's just time to spring clean and bring it all, get it all out in the open, and don't feel
Yeah.
bad about it at all.
And the more you can do it now, the better. Waiting for the shift and for that to happen, it's going to be a lot harder, because it's like then you have so much to deal with that's
Mm.
just coming up to be looked at, and where do you start? And then a lot of what I've seen is this almost like not only confusion, but it's this guilty conscience phenomena that comes into play at a mass level, because the people who really didn't know that they are this divine light being, I didn't know that everybody's equal. Now all of a sudden all these thoughts are coming up to the surface, all these feelings, all of these, and they almost like this guilt, the shame ends up like this phenomenon comes in. And so I think one of the key messages, the intakes that I got, is when we are working with people, is to make sure that we are saying there's no judgment. We're going to
No
get through this
judgment.
together,
Mm.
don't, like, we're all one here, we're going to get through this together. Reality has changed, and we'll get through this. But of course,
Absolutely.
these are the tools that we have to deal
Right.
with this, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the biggest thing is, when you're doing shadow work, is no judgment, and being able to forgive and being able to let go. Because you could say you forgive someone one day, and then your thoughts is calling it right back if you're still remembering that story and you're still going through that time loop, because it's a time loop. You take yourself right
Yeah,
back to that time and you bring in that energy, and you cause yourself harm, and the person, because you've held them captive in your mind all this time. And so until you can release that and heal it, and once you've actually healed it, then it's gone, and you won't even remember the story. you know.
But if you are stuck in it, like so say you release, but you're still stuck and you're like, but I hated how they did that to me. Instead of taking that approach, think of what did you learn from it? How did you advance from it? How did your life get better from it? Maybe you started attracting better friends. Maybe you had different boundaries. You know, maybe you found a better partner in love that
Yeah.
treated you better, you know, like all these different things. So like all of these things, like we all at a level love each other. There's
Yeah,
at a level, there's no betrayal. We're just teaching each other what is not love. So,
exactly.
right?
So on the other side, they're your best friend.
Yeah.
You just love them to pieces, and they took the hard job to be a pain in your butt. Is what they done.
Yeah. Because you wouldn't want like like a stranger, like or a new soul that you haven't worked with to like really hurt you. You
Mhm.
know, you'd want somebody that you've been through all these thousands of lifetimes, that you have a great soul bond to come in to be the bad guy, to teach you a hard lesson, but it advances your soul, and it's done at the highest level. It's done from a place of love. There are some awful things that happen to in the planet, and I do think there are some things that are um there might be a different incarnate kind of a being out there who is like literally a spawn of pure density, like, and that's not exactly the same. Like there is light and darkness, um but there is also the lower realms, and there are some that happen to migrate into every once in a while that do some very horrific things and stuff like that. I'll never forget, there was a time when I did a healing session for someone, and then of course the lower energy that was attached to them comes to me to be dealt with after the session. And so it's a demon, and it just happens when you're a healer, if and it's part of the job. And if you don't know how to release them, clear them, or whatever, then it's something that you should think about learning before offering healing sessions, because you're committed to help somebody. You might take on an attachment of theirs and have to deal with it. Not a lot of people know that until it's affecting you, right? And so this one in
Right.
particular that I had to deal with, it was a being that had been evolved in the Mayan times of sacrificing, tribal occultism, of cannibalism, uh,
Yeah.
and and eating people for their power and all this crap, like sacrificing them, and blood magic and all this stuff he
Oh,
was involved with. Horrible, of course, but he was a person. He was a
wow.
human being, and he was involved in so much darkness in his life, that 10,000 or plus years. And so he's an attachment now, right? You
Good.
know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah,
you can go from a human soul and become a demon if you're doing that kind of stuff, you
exactly.
know? And it's just the reality. And this is why it's so important to be
So
of love,
one
right?
thing that I noticed too, since we're in the ascension energies, is that you get something like that. And if you just say, get out of here, you're not allowed in my light. You're not allowed in, you put up boundaries and you say you're not allowed here and you cut the cord. Well, he just goes to somebody else. But if you bring in Yahshua, who brings the strongest energy of all
Yeah.
is love, he brings that in, and then you have Yahshua speak to him and you speak to him, and get him to see the love and to go to the light to be healed, and then it's taken care of. But see, a lot of people are afraid of something like that, and they'll just say, get out of here, you don't belong in my light, and then they just go along and find somebody else to attach to.
Yeah.
But the best thing to do is to bring in Yahshua and find a way to heal. There's always a way.
Yeah.
If they're not
Yeah.
ready, Yahshua will take them where he can't harm anybody.
Mhm.
So,
No,
you know,
I don't recommend this for anybody, but I literally went into his heart to heal, clear, release him. But then because I wanted to see, I wanted it not just for him, because he's connected to all these other occult, cannibalistic tribal leaders. So I know by chords I can release them as well. So, and then all those soul fragments. So, I ended up having to get, because he would take people's consciousness. He literally would, when he would eat them. It was just, and he would take it on himself. It was really messed up. So I had to clear all that out of him, had to clear his heart, and then I had to clear it out of his like affiliates of cannibalistic tribal beings and stuff like that. So it was meant to come in for me to do this. Obviously, this is why everything is divinely orchestrated. No, you're never going to be put in front of something that you can't handle or can't deal with. The divine always knows what you can and cannot deal with. I mean, yeah, but calling in Yeshua to assist and to talk and to do that is very helpful as well. I always say it, and I've said it always. My story has never changed. He's my favorite guide. He's the one who really taught me to go into my heart. Out of all the other guys, he's the only one who actually taught me, who came down and started giving me lessons to go within the heart. And that's really when my advancement started happening, going within.
That's when my advancement started happening. He came and he said, write this down. And I went, what? I mean, I actually could hear his voice. And I said, what? And I sat up in bed and he said, write this down. And I wrote down a huge list of, he wanted me to teach flow of life energy and how to teach people how to sustain a balanced energy field. And he wanted it to be simple. He said, to the common person, I want you to write it as simple as you can write it. And so I did, and he worked with me for, I bet you 6 months to get it out, to get all the processes and everything into this class. That it's probably like, it's probably like, I'd say 15-hour class by the time you're done. And it's for beginners, and it's also for advanced, because they've always done that with me. They'll move whatever class I'm teaching to the person's consciousness. And he's just been my favorite guide ever since, and I'll never forget his voice. It was like, because I said, who's talking to me? And he says, the one you call Jesus. And I went, whoa, okay, I'm writing it down.
Yeah, so amazing.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you how many times, like, his advice is just unbelievable. Like, throughout the years, some of the toughest decisions, like, he just makes it so simple. I can't remember exactly what it was that was so complex that I was going through, but he just said, ask your heart if it's in alignment.
I know his favorite saying, the same to me, is turn it out upside down and drop it in your heart. So he's saying, he shows me like a figure 8, turn it upside down and drop it into your heart, because that's where it belongs. That's where you should be thinking from. And the answer's there. It always knows, because that's your higher self talking. And it's just been an amazing ride for all of us, what we've been through, and the amazing different teachers and guides and angelic realm and all that. It's been amazing, pretty amazing. I remember when I met you, David, you was like going through, that's when you were going through that, when you went into your deep dive. And that was rough, but I'm glad you did it, because look at where you're at and what you're doing now. It had you kept ignoring it, you still be doing spirit work. You just have opened your gifts as far as you did.
That's another big benefit of inner work, is because you shift into higher vibrations. It unlocks chakras, it unlocks gifts and different of your old divine knowledge. And then it's
but
there's so many benefits.
That message wasn't just for you. He told me it was for the masses, and it was for me too. And I didn't. You listened, but I didn't. I just kept doing what I was doing, and I could have been working on it way back then. I did.
Oh yeah.
But I was so busy with my mom. Things had to happen in order for me to be able to. It's almost like you need rest time, and you need to be able to, when your body's releasing and you're letting go, you have to take care of yourself. And if you're so busy, it's just almost impossible to do that kind of work,
Yeah.
It's not that it can't be done, but it's hard.
One of the things that I found when I did too much inner work is it kind of gets depressing, So I'd have to take like like if I started getting depressed a little bit for a couple of days, I'd have to take like some time apart from it. And that's why when I came up with the Embody the Master series to help people, guide them to do the inner work, there's joy creation and divine light ignition. There's people who have gone through the course. They're like, I know you talked about that sometimes it could be depressing, but I felt totally fine. And then they finish the course, and then some other shadow work has come up and they have all the tools, and they're like, oh, now I get why you said it was depressing. I'm like, but you can go back and just listen to the joy creation and divine light when you're doing your shadow work, and you don't have to go through that, because that was my big thing. This is my deal with the divine. When they said they wanted me like to do this course to help everybody, I'm like, this is depressing work if you in doing it in tranches. And they said, don't worry, you'll channel things that make it so it's not. And I'm like, as long as that we have that deal, that's the only way I'm going to do this, because there's no way I'd ever want to do a course. And then, but it's so beautiful, the course. It's so much more than inner work.
Tell us all about your course, you know, tell us what, you know, when has it began yet? What are you?
The inner work one is the Embody the Master series. So I put a link. If you just click on the link above here, it goes to Embody the Master series is the second thing to choose. And it's completely, because when you do the inner work, your vibration changes and you clear out old karmic loops and patterns. And so your relationships get stronger, that you're inviting in more divine friends who are going to honor you, and more divine lovers who are going to honor you. And you're inviting in a faster abundance and all that. And you're also inviting in to open up your heart into this great joy and this new way of waking up and really loving your life and loving your moments and all these things. So you definitely can check that out. And then I put your link to your Facebook Wellness Center on there as well. What can people find there, and what can they connect with you there?
Yeah, all my information's on there. They can go to my website and see what I offer. You know, I do Reiki classes and energy classes and mentorship and sessions for quantum. It's called Ignite Quantum Healing, because what I do is I do Akashic Records regression therapy. And so what it does is it takes you through the quantum, takes you to the seed of whatever it is that's holding you back. You heal it, you resolve it, you forgive, and you are able to let it go. It's the same thing as shadow work. It teaches you how to do it. So then when it comes up on your own, then you'll be able to do it by yourself, because your guides and angels pick it up from the session and they start helping you, and they work with you at home. And then the only time you would make another session is if you got stuck. If you just felt like you weren't getting anywhere, then you would call and make another appointment. And so that's pretty much what it is that I do. I just help you do everything that we're talking about. I've been doing that my whole spiritual path.
And you do one-to-one sessions?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because people like that, like one-to-one attention. Are they hour long, half an hour, 2 hours, or how do
sessions are an hour long? And I pretty much take them through. They end up going through. First we talk, we figure out what it is that's getting you stuck, and then we move into the regression part. And your higher self, my higher self, and all your team works together to find that seed, the one that's going to help you the most, and then we resolve it and give forgiveness and healing. And then it's like the roots of a tree. It travels throughout all of your lifetimes, and any energy that's connected to is healed. And so you lose all these timelines. And so it brings you to the highest timeline that you're capable of after releasing that energy. But you don't realize how many lifetimes it's attached to. It's attached to many, many lifetimes. I mean, after you do a session like that, you move forward really fast. It's a huge healing.
No, absolutely. And you'll also likely find out things that you didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's always fun because you channel people's guides.
My guide, their guide get together, and I don't really channel their guide, but we're guided by them.
But
whatever.
you get information though about them, right? From the guides.
No, because what happens with mine is that they are guided to find their own information. I can,
Oh, right. That's
I
right.
can,
That's right.
I can take them where they want to go, and I can give them hints, but Yahshua wants me to let them find their own truth within their own heart. And so I ask them questions that'll get them there. And when they get close enough, I can like give them,
Yeah.
give it to them. But he wants them to find the truth themselves so that they believe it and know it to be so. If I just tell them everything, they might walk away from the session and just go, I don't know, how do I know that she's connected enough to give me information about me? So by having them find the information themselves and do their own work, when it comes up for them in their real life, they can do it themselves. So I'm actually teaching them how to do their shadow work for themselves, because I don't do it for them. Yeah. So so when people are ready, that's when they send someone like that.
That is awesome. So that link's up there for anybody. And I definitely know Bonnie's got a really beautiful connection to the light. And I've gone through one of your sessions before, and it's very amazing and divinely guided as well. It helped me out. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. You want to connect to the what's that?
I said your sessions are the same. They're amazing too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the love and the connection to the light, the greater it gets, the greater that you love the light, the greater that you're committed to the light, the greater your whole life becomes, and the greater your sessions are, the greater you can help, everything, it just becomes better.
It's just the more pure your heart is just to help others, the more help you're given to help others. More tools, everything you're given. That's what I've learned along the way.
Yeah. So should we see if there's an activation for people who are watching, maybe?
Sure, let's do that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you beat it though. I'll just connect in.
Okay. There's a lot of light. I'm just connect to the higher selves and the fields of everybody who are watching. Ask the divine love of the archangels, ascended masters, divine mother, father, God to be with us, to guide this and see what wants to come in. It seems to me like it's a divine mother, father, source, light embodiment of really high energies. So I would just invite everybody just to connect your pillar of light, to breathe in the golden light through all of your chakras. Exhale and ground it into Gaia. And breathe up the beautiful energies from Gaia, the rainbow energies from the heart of Mother Gaia through your fields, exhaling it out your crown, connecting to your higher self. And call on the integration, call on Mother, Father, God in their wholeness, in their all, to rain down frequencies into the heart, into the sacral, and throughout your legs and feet, all the way from the crown, just the divine mother, father, God energies to come and attune to come and open, to come and awaken. Just call them into your light. Connect just to this beautiful love. And Bonnie, if you want to take it over from here.
Just want you to let your heart space expand. Just drop your attention down into your heart space and just let it expand. Just take a deep breath. And I want you to just move to the still point of your heart. You just bring your consciousness right to the part in your heart where you feel peace. And this is your true connection to the divine. It runs all the way up your backbone, through to your crown, all the way up to your higher self. Just take a deep breath and just let that love energy radiate through your body. Mother Sophia is here. She wants you to see through the eyes of spirit. She wants you to look at this new world with wonder and joy and love. She wants you to understand that this is the time when love is needed the most, through the transition, through the awakening of the hearts and the minds and the soul. Bring in that love energy. She's like sending these rays of love down. Just take a deep breath. And she's doing a heart activation to help you bring in the love without judgment, without fear or sadness. She wants you to be able to let go of all that makes you feel unworthy of love and know that you are worthy and that this is your right. This is truly who you are. You are born of the love. You're born of light. And this is your right. To shotro bikatrai miatra etre pi amiatra bikaya shatrai etre emiatra arek bakataya miatra or bikatrai emiatra or bikataya miatra atra abayatra atra itre emiatra or bikatrai emiatra o shutro miatra iti emiatra or bikatra emiatra o shutta miatra or bikariata. That all your chakras open up like the lotus. Prashutra emiatra atra muyatra iti emiatra. Accept the love of God. Shutra emiatra ata emiatra itre emiatra o shutra emiatra ika emiatra o shutra emiatri emiatra or bikataya niatra utru biatra itri emiatra. Let the heart overflow with love. Tra amiatra sh amiatra iki amiatra ubu miatra ini amiatra. For when you see in love, droshutra emiatra orbika yetra iti emiatra, and you feel in love, amiatra, amiatra, ishi amiatra orbikata emiatra. Feel your heart grow with love. Umi ani ashata emiatra ata amiatra itri emitra. For this is the time to utru umiatra for us to ascend into the light. Droshutra emiatra. We are here through utru umiatra. And so it is. So I'm going to pass it on to David.
So we are sitting in energies of the 12th dimension around the great central sun with many angelic beings and ascended masters. And we are connecting to the great central sun right now and opening up a big solar light of higher consciousness aspects, masters of light to surround everybody right now. And the great Lyran being of Egypt, Sekhmet, is connecting Lioness and Ma as well. So the Lyran energies are coming through of the solar sun, the great hearts of the Lyran's love. The Lyran's heart is the purest I've met on any galactic level. And so the light beings of Lyra, frequency of Lyra, of love, of the purest of hearts, coming over everybody's fields. This will be a form of a light body activation that is coming in, but also adding to the heart. And it is meant to step into these fields of purity and love. Just allow them to glow and illuminate your fields. It will help transmute some of the burdens that you might be feeling. It'll feel like home, energies of home. This pure divine love. Just breathe all that is pure divine love into your heart, allowing to open up any doors of greater love to come through your heart, to come into your energy, to awaken more light into your fields from within. And then I'm going to pass it over to Bonnie for integrations and grounding.
You're sending down these beautiful waves of light, this beautiful rainbow waves of light, all the way down through, starting through our light bodies, doing adjustments, bringing everything into the frequency of pure love. And it's coming down through trickling down to the physical body, through the crown, and all the way through every single one of our chakras. And as it's running down, they're switching on. I'm seeing like little switches of love and remembrance of who you truly are, of all the things that you've done that was done in the name of love. It's all coming to your mind and helping you remember what you are and what you come for. Just will truly help you walk on into the future, into your light and the person that you truly came here to be. We're doing some codes that will integrate all of this beautiful, pure love, light energy, help ground it into the earth, and it'll send it into the mother's heart, Mother Gaia's heart, so that when anybody's ready for this attunement, they will receive through meditation. Starting at the crown, moving through the third eye, moving down through the throat chakra, all contracts being resolved. You will speak freely of love and light. Moving down to the heart chakra and the high heart. Your heart is free in love. Beyond measure. Accept this love. Moving down to the solar plexus. Releases the feelings of being unworthy. Know that you are worthy. Moving down to the sacral. Opening up the relationships of love and letting go of all relationships that aren't of love. Down to the base chakra, all fear being released, bringing in the only abundance and love and a future of light. Moving all the way down to your earth chakra, connecting to the mother's heart. Stand in your power. Shatra imiatra orbikatra imiatra. Then we're going to take a deep breath in this energy, and all these codes are going to go all the way up through our crown, connecting to our higher self. Take a deep breath. Proshutro orbikatari amiatra orbikataya shatra imiatra iki asha amiatra iti imiatra orbikataya miatra iti yamiata. It is done. And so it is. Bringing on the light. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
I'm going to thank the divine light, the angels, ascended masters, Mother, Father, God, the Lyran beings, all of the light, all of the ancients, all of the love that came to assist everybody here today, our higher selves, and we're grateful.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so grateful. My video keeps freezing. I hope you
Well,
could.
I saw you the whole time. I thought it was absolutely amazing. So we're just going to thank everybody for tuning in. Definitely check out Bonnie's link, like her page, find out more what she's doing. And
Same with David. Find out what he's doing. He's pretty amazing.
And so are you. So thank you so much for sharing the space, Bonnie. It's so amazing to catch up again and for this beautiful collective activation. Have an amazing time tomorrow. We'll say goodbye to all of our Facebook friends. See you later. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
I'm just going to end the live stream.
Yeah.
There we go.